English translation 263rd contact. Friday, 8th of May, 1998, 21:50 hours.
Florena, I'm a little surprised. I did not think you would visit me here in the living room, but that you would expect me outside. Do you not think that is a bit dangerous? Because in the kitchen there are different group members who can come in at any time, but still be welcome and greeted. I am happy that you have found time to come here. I tried to reach you for several days.
Greetings, Edward. Yes, I was unfortunately absent, so you could not reach me. I also understand that you wanted to speak to me quickly, because if I was not mistaken, you called me because you wanted to ask me about the circumstances of a photograph taken by Edith Beldy, or am I mistaken?
No, not at all, because that is what I wanted to talk to you about. Edith showed me her holiday pictures of Ticino and Italy. On one photo, I immediately noticed an object in the sky that looked like a Pleiadian Pleiaren beam ship. With the magnifying glass, this was confirmed. When I showed it to Edith and she looked at it, she was utterly astonished and explained that she had not seen anything while taking the picture. I found it understandable, because she naturally observed her relatives and acquaintances during the photographing. When Edith took the photo, it was supposed to have been about 1630 HRs. The place was Luino in Italy, and the date was the 22nd of April 1998, on a Wednesday.
That corresponds to correctness. The time, however, was exactly 1629 HRs when Edith pressed the shutter release of the camera. Well, you told me that Edith was going on holiday for a few days in Ticino, and I thought I could follow her there and make my flying apparatus visible to her, with Pata's consent, of course, whom I asked for permission, since we are not usually allowed to show ourselves openly and make our flying apparatuses visible for directive reasons. So I spent a few hours at Edith's destinations letting them see my aircraft, so I opened a field of view to them on several occasions. Unfortunately, however, she always looked somewhere else, but not in my direction and not skywards. I did not want to give her any impulses, because otherwise she would have drawn the attention of her relatives and acquaintances, who of course would not have been able to see anything because I had made the view of my flying apparatus only for her to see. So if she had told her companion something, she would certainly have been accused of lunacy and fantasy and perhaps even worse things. So for these reasons, I refrained from making Edith aware of me through impulses.
Florena's Pleiadian Pleiaren beam ship high above Lake Maggiore near Luino, Italy. So 2nd April 1998, 1629 HRs. Photo, Edith Beldy. Florena's Pleiadian Pleiaren beam ship high above Lake Maggiore near Luino, Italy. Cropped, 2nd April 1998, 1629 HRs. Photo, Edith Beldy. Cropped enlargement of Florena's beam ship over Lake Maggiore. 22nd April 1998, 1629 HRs. Photo, Edith Beldy.
So in this episode, I tried to just appear in the field of view of Edith's camera at a suitable moment when she was just exposing the film again. It so happened that my flying apparatus was photographed by her.
That is how we imagined it to be. Thank you so much for your efforts. It really means a lot to us that another group member than me was allowed to take a picture of one of your beam ships in broad daylight, which, with 2 exceptions, was actually reserved for me. For me, it was almost beyond doubt that it had to be your beam ship, since you are the only one who flies such a device. Your colleagues have other ship models that cannot be confused with yours.
That is true, as is the fact that in earlier years only Guido Moosbrugger and Hans Schutzbach were allowed to take pictures of our aircraft. However, both could only take night pictures, so only the light phenomena could be recorded.
C. Pleiadian Pleiaren Contact Reports, Volume 2, 50th Contact, Sunday, 6th April 1976, page 1-22.
Hans Schutzbach was also given permission to capture Simyasei's and Quetzal's flying apparatuses on film during the day. But he failed miserably, I must say, because when he saw the two flying apparatuses fly away, he was so excited and shaking that he could not get a picture, as Simyasei and Quetzal told me.
That is true. He only ever spoke big words, but when it came down to it, he failed. Imagining or dreaming something is different than suddenly being confronted with real ideas and dreams.
This also corresponds to correctness. But now, dear friend, it is time for me to go again. Goodbye, and please greet Edith as well as Ava, and of course everyone else.
Pleiadian Pleiaren Beamship in Italy by Edith Beldi, Switzerland.
On the 22nd of April 1998, I, Edith Beldi, FIGU core group member, was staying in Luino, Italy. That Wednesday, I was on a little holiday tour with some relatives, and of course, souvenir photos were also taken. When I photographed my traveling companions at 16:29 hours in Luino, with a view over Lake Maggiore, I naturally looked at them and so noticed nothing unusual. Also later, when I was looking through the finished pictures, I didn't see anything at first, so that only when I took a closer look did I notice that to the left of the picture and high above the lake, an object could be seen that bore an enormous resemblance to the Pleiaren beamships I had seen in photos, as Billy Meyer had photographed hundreds of times in earlier years. After I looked at the object, which was clearly visible in the picture, under the magnifying glass, my assumption was confirmed. The solution to the mystery was, as I later learned from Billy Meyer, Florena, a Pleiadian Pleiaren beamship pilot, was informed by Billy that I was on holiday in Ticino and was going to Luino. So she flew there with her beamship to make herself visible to me, as she said. However, this failed her thoroughly because I did not pay enough attention to the sky. Consequently, Florena preferred to simply put herself in the picture in the background at an appropriate moment when I took another picture of my relatives and acquaintances. This is how Florena, the beamship pilot, explained the appearance of her ship in my photo when Billy Meyer asked her about the closer circumstances.
I will gladly do so, and please also pay my regards to your comrades.
I will do that. But now really, goodbye.
See you next time. Goodbye, and thank you very much for your visit and for your explanations.